Um, oh, sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Welcome. Of course, I hit record as I'm pulling hair from my mouth. Welcome to the official book club for the Advocate. Little secret, we had a mini book club for the Advocate at Coffee with Katie today because Kim wasn't going to be able to be here. So some of us have had a little bit of discussion, but not too much because the time always goes fast. We still have lots to talk about, and a bunch of you weren't there, so we'll kind of go over the same stuff again. But I am really excited about this book club because I was really excited about this book. This was quite the novel. It came together in some interesting ways, and it spans so much time. Like, not just time, but so much stuff. I honestly, as I was writing The Advocate, I was like, we could have an entire series of just all of the things that the advocacy prevents from happening. Like, we could just have a recurring series of like the advocacy saving watchers and defenders, right? And then I was like, no, I don't have time. We can't go down that road.
You can go later.
I know.
I'm so wanting my new historical book of the Great Library of Burke.
Oh,
When is
yeah.
that one now?
Yeah.
Yes. So at the end, Lila is saying that because she must have listened. So at the end of Sister Witches book 2, the end, Debbie and Kim and Lila got the books to proof before we finalized Sister Witches book 2. And the like extra short story that you're getting if you buy from me is about Caroline, this really funny librarian at the Great Library of Burke, and it will make you want to be live in the Great Library of Burke.
I laughed.
I know.
So good.
Caroline might be hands down my single favorite character ever.
I love her. She's so good.
Yeah. So because of Caroline, we have a new historical collection book that is just going to probably be titled Burke. For the Great Library of Burke. And I'm already getting rumblings about who Burke is. So that's interesting. But we're talking about Charlie and Maximilian today. The problem with The Advocate is it flows so nicely into the Sister Witches. So is there anyone here that has not read Sister Witches book 1?
Well, I haven't. So, but
okay. So we just So we just need to be careful to not give away Sister Witches book 1 spoilers because they flow so well. That's just something we'll have to pay attention to. Because I started giving away spoilers at the Coffee with Katie call, and I was like, oh, I better shut my mouth. Anyway, so my first and favorite question is always, did you have a favorite scene or a favorite, not the favorite, just you can have like 20 favorites, a favorite character or scene in The Advocate?
Boy.
Yes, Terry. Terry raised his hand.
I think the fight scene in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Between Charlie, and the whole
Big Leo.
thing, how it started out just thinking that, Charlie and they were outnumbered, and yet they kept holding their own. And then all of a sudden, more and more advocacy members popped up. Like they were always there. They just started showing themselves and putting the brain went dead. All of the not the watchers, the opposite. What's the opposite of a watcher?
Defenders.
The defenders.
Defenders.
The defenders.
All the defenders that were trying to fight, they didn't kill that many of them, but they sure put them out for the count, so to say. Yeah, I like that.
Put them out of commission. Yeah.
The whole thing was kind of neat, just the way it was all. I was worried that Ray was going to get hurt. That was my first thought. Was you'd do that to us, wouldn't you?
No, wait, who was going to get hurt?
Ray.
She almost did. She didn't make it. I'm not in charge, Terry. Don't shoot the messenger.
I look at Faye as being somebody that is, she has the gumption, and if you live in the West network, you've got to be strong. You don't have anything
Yeah.
else to do except for fight for your life. So
Oh
I
yeah.
think she's got a lot more behind her than what we give her credit for.
I love Faye. She might be one of my
Mhm.
favorite characters. Craig, welcome to the call. Welcome to the Advocate Book Club. It's good to have you. Thanks for popping in. We just started our discussion. If you have, the first question that I asked, you haven't missed anything yet. The first question that I asked was if you have a favorite character or a favorite scene from the Advocate.
Oh, I got a favorite character.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Lila.
Wild Rose Manor.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Wild Rose is definitely a character in so many ways.
That's good. That was good.
It's pretty quirky, Lila. That makes sense. That's perfect. You love the quirky one.
Oh yeah.
And then Craig, I was just gonna let you know we if you don't want to talk, you don't have to. If you want to, you also are welcome to. We are from all over the U.S. and Australia. I don't think we have any UK people here. Do you guys want to? You know, I'm actually just gonna. Sorry, I'm gonna mute you because I can hear something in the background. We have Leanne. Where are you from?
I'm from Central Virginia.
Perfect. Terry, where are you at?
I'm from Pleasant Grove,
Utah.
Utah.
There's got to be so many Pleasant Groves. Lila, where in the bush are you?
South Australia.
Yes, ma'am. Dana, where are you now?
I am currently sitting in Virginia, just off the I-95 corridor, but I currently live in Southwest Florida.
Yes. Oh, here's Carol. Carol's joining. She
Yay.
is South Dakota, right? Yes, South Dakota, not North Dakota. Karen, where in the U.S. are you?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, with the cheese heads.
Okay.
Diane, where in the U.S. are you?
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio. Debbie, how about you?
Illinois.
Denise, what about you?
Sunny, California.
Oh, wow.
Yay, sunshine. And then Garrett, I don't know if you're checking in over voice, my friend.
Yep. Iowa. Sorry.
Yeah, tell him, Garrett, tell him. Garrett is in Iowa. And then Carol just popped in from South Dakota. Carol, we were just greeting Craig. He's
saw
new here
that.
tonight for Advocate. All right, well, that's everyone. Craig, feel free to chime in if you like.
Craig.
Carol, we just asked, what was your favorite scene or character in The Advocate? Terry said the fight scene in the kitchen, and he accused me of potentially killing Faye, which I confirmed almost happened. And then Lila said that her favorite character is Wild Rose. So, anybody else with thoughts?
I like the scene where Charles and Max actually met, how he was pulled into the magic from the thing. I like that. I was like, wow, that's really great. How they met.
Do
and everything.
you guys think it's significant that they both transitioned to their power at the same time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think it means?
No accident.
They're soulmates.
Are
They're
they? Are they each other's?
Are they
isn't it-
matches?
Isn't
They're
there,
bromates. They're
isn't there a
bromates.
defender and a
bromates.
watcher?
They're
Like,
Dana nailed it. Dana,
what you say?
Dana
They're
nailed it.
matches.
They're matches.
ma-
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
Is there another match that was also in close proximity to another?
Yeah.
Mm.
Isadora and Lucy.
And
Oh.
Lucy, yeah.
A wee bit of a pattern there that until this moment I had not yet observed. So thank you, Dana. That pattern was not intentional. Yes, I do, Diane. I loved that scene. I thought it was fun. When I started writing it, I was like, oh, this so clearly happens at the same time, like together, because I felt that something big had to keep Max there, for him to not just like run away and go fend for himself. There had to be a big reason to keep him at Wild Rose long enough that Ranulph could kind of win him over. And figuring out his magic, like with Pearl and Charlie and Ranulph, was like the obvious answer. And since they were matches, it made sense that they would then like enter the magic at the same time. So, yes.
And
Anyone else? Go ahead.
I
Dana.
love that Charles and Charlie that Charles is a bumbling high priest, but that he's actually brilliant.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
I love that, and that he's so good at keeping them apart.
Mhm.
He is.
And he doesn't need the recognition. I love that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
long as-
finding out.
yeah.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
I like finding out why he did it, why he started doing that. That was.
Oh, like why
Yeah.
he built the
Yeah.
advocacy. Did
Yeah.
you enjoy seeing like the beginning of the advocacy and how it was like a cellar? Or like he
Yeah.
just like took a cellar and like turned it into headquarters and he didn't even know what it was headquarters for.
He has a lot of energy too. Charles
Yes,
has
he
a
does.
lot of energy.
He does.
Charlie
Garrett has a
does.
question. Garrett has a question.
Oh, real quick before Garrett said, Craig did say that he is also in Australia, but he can't talk right now. So
Oh,
thank you, Craig.
okay.
That's awesome. Lila, you're not alone. Got some more Aussies. All right,
Oh,
Garrett, go
what
ahead.
happened to Garrett? Where'd he go?
I'm back,
He's
Garrett.
waving.
I'm here, sorry. I have a question.
Oh dear.
So like all these high priests, like and priestesses just keep getting married secretly. When you just gonna let it be, like,
Whoa, whoa,
like
whoa.
just
Back
let
that
them
up,
do
brother.
it. Like,
Back it
say
up.
what?
What do you
What?
mean by all these high priests and high priestesses? Back that up.
Like there's a good portion of these high priests and priestesses, like you just said his name, Charlie. He got married too, or whatever
Sure.
whatever it's
He did
called.
hand fast. Yeah, he hand fasted Faye.
Thank you. So like
And
this
Derek, there's only
is
two.
happening. Well, you know, And-
Mildred
And
did
Mildred
not
didn't get
fast
married, but
they
but
did
she
never
had a love.
infested.
Yeah, they should have.
but they had to love,
Yeah.
like that. You know, they're pretty much married. Like just at this point, just
Common law.
let it happen. Just,
Hey, pretty
just let
much
it happen.
is not done, son. Pretty much is not done.
like,
and
you
Derek,
know,
Derek did not get married as high priest. He was
This is
brought
true.
in to break the traditions. So you have one example.
Hey,
I know,
they
but he
keep
was
deceiving
pivotal.
the people. They keep deceiving the people by
Well, of
by
course they
keep
do.
going and doing
Because
this.
there's no
So-
story.
So, right. So just let it happen. Just let them be happy
I
and
did.
in love. And
Derek.
Well, this is true.
We
Well,
broke
this
it,
is
Is
true.
right?
it deceiving?
So
is it
it is
deceiving,
broken.
or is it deceiving, or is it just nobody else's business?
Well, this
Well,
is true, but everybody else
apparent-
believes that this
It's
is the tradition
protecting.
and this is
Well, apparently
Yes.
Greta's having an affair with Odette, whatever his last name is. And everybody
Forgot about
knows it
that.
because it's in the Chatterer.
That's true. But that was never proven, to be fair.
so here's my question
just
then. Here's
gossip.
my question. After
Well, not
after the
yet.
Derek thing, is it allowed now? Moving forward?
Yeah. Oh,
in-
yeah.
in the
So,
future book.
yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Derek broke it. Yeah.
Oh,
we were
good.
breaking that. That was
It
like
needed
Derek's
broken.
whole shtick was to break the
It
stupid
needed
traditions,
broken.
right?
After
Okay.
the
Hey, I
Derek
have-
thing.
But now it doesn't matter because he's not high priest. Right? Yeah.
Not anymore.
Like, what day is it? It's Friday. Okay, so yes, I get what you're saying, Garrett, right? Like there is major deceptions amongst all the leaders of these networks. But let's I can't say that.
Let's be honest, it's today's world.
No. I'm talking about Felicity. Felicity is you'll meet Felicity in Sister Witches Book 1, Diane. Right?
Okay.
Yes, you do. Anyway, Felicity, I have hopes for her just being steady stalwart, right? Yes, there is major deceptions. That's not my fault. They come this way. And really, there would be no conflict without it. So I take no offense, but I am offended that you said so many and there was one.
Multiple.
I abide by the rules. I abide by the
You can
rules. All
see
power
the
against
mob.
me.
Yeah, you can see how the mobs get riled up. You know.
No, I can't. I can't even.
Okay.
Terry.
Married,
Very
married.
recent.
I was wrong on the married. But love triangles and love interests and whatever
I'll go
else.
with deceptions. I'll go with deceptions. That one abounds because there's
You
political intrigue.
here's what you need, Katie.
Correct.
Here's what you need. You need a gavel. You need a gavel. So when it's done, you hit the gavel.
That would be a very lonely gavel. Terry's been raising his hand. What have you got, Terry?
I just said impression is 9/10 of the law, isn't it?
I don't know how anywhere else runs, but it seems like that in the US. Yes, deceptions abound, but hand fastings do not. Boom. Any other one have favorite scenes or favorite characters? Yeah, Karen.
The storyline between Leo and Charlie,
Did you like that? Big
Yeah.
Leo and Charlie.
in the conclusion,
Oh, it's so
Where-
good when he finds out, right?
where Leo is totally stunned and
I really liked when he appears as a bird too.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I like that.
Debbie, did you have one?
Randolph and Max.
Oh yeah, they're so
Yeah.
sweet together.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
see more of them together. I was
Mm.
frankly upset that we had to close it that quickly, but again, not on me.
You're the one that writes them.
You would think that. You would
That
think
wasn't
that,
quiet
Debbie.
enough. We heard that.
No. Your mumbles.
You
are
were
not mumbles.
supposed to.
I
Your
know.
mumbles are not so good. If I were more in
Good
charge,
Irishman
then
whisperer.
good Irishman whisper. I think my favorite scene. It's probably. Oh, I was just thinking about it. It's a Charlie and Leo scene. Oh, when Charlie gets caught in the Eastern Network
yeah,
and he's acting like Charles and he's like
Yeah.
going to try and get the scrolls and then he has to like bluster his way through. That was my favorite. I was like cackling as I wrote it. It was so fun once I figured that one out. I think that's my favorite scene in the whole book when he's like, I am offended. Like, he's like so upset. That's my favorite scene. So
I like
Go ahead,
this scene. Now I'm going to forget. Oh no, between Max and Serafina,
oh yeah.
Oh,
such a
where
punk.
Max
was-
finally finds out that it wasn't all Serafina's fault. It was
yeah,
Dante
Right.
Aldana that didn't let her come.
He needed to die. I mean, wither away in Carceri.
Well,
happened,
and
right?
then that his his father wouldn't didn't let the gifts that she was sending come through.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was terrible.
The boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a very terrible man. I
Glad he
was-
died in the first chapter.
was
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yay!
finally someone rejoices in the death that I bring.
Yeah.
No, there we go. I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one we were okay with.
Right. Yeah. He fell under the category of just needs killing.
Oh, you wait.
That
You
line,
wait.
I love that.
We're cheering for him to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love Sister Witch's book 3.
Uh-huh.
And book 2.
Oh no!
How many?
You got some
She
good
did
ones.
say there was going to be deaths.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, there's death.
Oh boy.
There are deaths.
And
Just
are we going
Cold.
to rejoice in them?
yes. I mean, I always bring it around. That brought up another question, but I'll save that one for a little bit. Did anyone have any questions like after you finished the book? Like Terry had a great question at Coffee with Katie that was, where is Wild Rose Manor during the Network series and the Network saga? And the question will be unanswered until the end of the series. Yeah. There, I have a pretty solid idea. Like I would say like 80% certain I know that answer, but that 20% is a big margin. And since I'm not in charge, who knows? Lila, go ahead.
You know what I love about the advocacy is when you spoke about you're going to write it and everyone's going, yay, I'm going, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then once I got it, I just went, oh my God, that was such a good needed book. Oh, yes. So, you know what I mean? And that's what was so brilliant for me because I kind of went, I don't need that story. No, I don't need it. Let's do something else. But once I read it, I'm just going,
I needed that story.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I
anyone
didn't
else?
even know it.
Did anyone
Yeah.
else feel that way? I'm curious.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
anyone else not that
Oh, I was
excited?
looking forward to it.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
That was one of
I-
my things that I wanted to have more information about Max and his backstory and,
Mhm.
Mm.
and Isadora.
Mhm.
Dana, what were you gonna say?
I was just sort of like, oh, it's another Katie book. Okay, I'll read it. And
They're really
My
hard to
husband
find.
yes, my husband thinks I'm a nut
There's
job.
only a couple.
But as
Yeah,
he's
so there's
sitting on
four
the
of
other
them.
side of the sofa in the dark with me, with his headphones on, watching something else. But he, like, it was just like, oh, it's another book. But then as I was reading it, it was like, oh, this answers that question that I didn't know I had, and oh, there's a gap I didn't know
Mhm.
existed, and
Mm.
so it was actually pretty cool.
That is so fascinating. So this
Yeah.
is an example of when I am positive I know what the readers want, and I had no bleeping idea. Because to me, I was like, everyone wants this book, but I might not have touted it enough as basically the answer to all the questions you never knew that you had, right? Like
Yeah.
really answered so many
Mhm.
questions. Because I was like,
Yeah.
people want this book. Like people are asking for this book, and there were people like Denise that were asking for it. But I for sure thought everyone was like as excited as I am about it. But that's because you guys had no idea what I had done. Like, again,
Right.
I'm not in charge.
It
Also-
was really the perfect segue into
Mhm.
Sister Witches. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
was, because
Oh, yeah.
I'm as I'm thinking
Yes.
about, when you're
Mhm.
asking what's the favorite scene, I'm sitting here going, okay, but did that happen in The Advocate?
Yeah.
Or was that in Sister Witches? Because it just flowed so
Mhm.
well into the Sister
Agreed.
Witch.
It
You
was
know,
the
Well,
perfect
and
preface.
it,
And
And
I
it's made it
finished The
richer.
Advocate the same
Absolutely.
day the Sister Witches came out.
Oh,
So
you
So
did?
I ended one and started the next. So
I
in
think
my
I did
head,
the
things
same.
sort of blend. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
that's amazing. Because you
I
really
Do you feel
can
can.
like
just
it
like
made it
pick it up.
richer too? I feel
Yeah.
like it made it richer, the Sister Witches, because of the advocacy.
Oh,
Advocate,
absolutely.
sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
I agree on that
without
one.
giving spoilers, I will say that the backstory you receive in the advocacy sets up for Max's big conflict in Sister Witches Book 1, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you don't understand the depth of his conflict without the advocate because you don't know
Mhm.
True.
that he. Oh, so this actually is the next question I wanted to ask. What are your thoughts on Max seeing Isadora in the paths so many years before he
Oh,
ever
I
met
loved,
her?
I
Yeah.
loved that. I loved how
Diane?
he saw her.
I
Yeah, I
thought
loved
that
how
was
they
really
how he
cool.
saw her first, and he's like, why is she there? And he kept on
Yeah.
seeing her, and then he
Because there's
wanted
no
to see her
path
again.
to her. She's
And
just
he
like,
wanted
there's
to,
no
yeah, he
path.
wanted
She's
to
just
keep,
there.
he kept on seeing her. She just showed up, and it was like, then he finally went there, and I was like, oh my God, it was great.
Where does
Diane,
which one
I
does the
actually
L-
thought of you.
It was like, I loved it. I loved it, the whole thing.
Okay. What are you saying, Dana?
So is it Sister Witches or is it the end of the advocacy, the where the L word comes out?
Oh,
That's Sister Witches.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Sister Witches. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so with him seeing Isadora like in advance,
Lazy witch.
with him seeing Isadora in advance, then we were talking at noon how really Max needed that time to like see her and
Mhm.
sort of like build curiosity and
Mm.
trust, which honestly makes the moment that they met in Leadham Wood so different, right? Like
Mhm.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
it just
Which I
it
did.
does.
I
changed it.
thought back on it. I thought back on it while I was listening to it. I was going, and it took me back to when they first met
Mhm.
Mhm.
and that interaction.
Mhm.
Well,
And he was
because it
so
does like
brusque
go into
and mean to begin with, though. Like from Isadora's
jerk.
perspective.
I mean,
Mm.
Max is a jerk. Like, there's no way around it. Like we see a softening of him in the Sister Witches books, even more so when you really dive into him. And we've seen that because Isadora is like a good influence on him, but he's stressed. Like he's got the advocacy and Greta.
Well, somewhere in the whole series, Max has to die because he's not in the network series.
Yeah.
So he's got to die somewhere. And you know
Well,
what?
Carol,
Just
like
like
you
Ludi
said,
is.
it's 120
Carol,
years
yeah.
later.
We have a lot of
Say-
books to go through.
Just go ahead and just pop that bubble.
You know,
Just go
Oh
ahead.
my God.
Maybe-
We don't
maybe
want
he's like
Max to
Elis.
die yet.
Maybe he's like Elis. know?
Oh my God.
Oh, don't bring Elis back into this. Oh
We
my
already
gosh.
had
Talk
it.
about beating
Oh,
a dead
no,
dragon.
Dead.
He's still alive.
Garrett
We
doesn't
still believe
know.
he's
Tell
still alive.
Garrett. Tell Garrett. He didn't. He
No,
missed it.
it's gonna
He's
be
had to
so
go.
bad.
Go on.
So
Go on. Tell
It's
Garrett.
magic. and
So
Ennis
when I
could
was
still be
writing,
alive.
Dead.
Sister Witch's book 4, I realized I need to figure out something. It was something with Jesse and Elis that I had to figure out. So I went back to Freedom and I was searching Elis and I found him and I was like, my heart like literally froze. Like it like dropped into my stomach and I was like, oh my gosh, did I kill Elis in Freedom? And I forgot. And I was like, I didn't kill Elis. It's like I might have killed Elis. I don't know.
You
The
really
jury's
didn't.
out if I killed Elis because the last we see of Elis is Jesse looking for him in the ocean and he's all stressed out and he's just saying Elis's name over and over. And then I forgot to wrap it up. And I just realized it like years later. I never answered the question of is Elis dead? And I was like, well, isn't that big fat perfect? Because now Garrett is gonna say, see, Elis evades death again.
That's right. That's right. I agree too.
He did it again.
It's
He
magic,
lives.
you know?
Elis lives.
Yeah, huh?
He
We
looks
really,
like-
We want a
know,
shirt
we
that
need that
says that.
t-shirt, Garrett.
we
That's
yeah,
what
we
I was
need
gonna say.
merch with
T-shirt.
Elis
Says
lives.
Elis
Oh, no. Oh, no. I already have the shirt designed. I'm telling you right now. I already have the damn shirt designed.
Nice, Garrett. I love it.
I will design a shirt that says Elis lives and put it on the store just for all of you. And I will get that up next week because that's pretty amazing.
Even though he's dead.
Elis lives! Even though he doesn't. Oh, but here's something
You
crazy.
need a put a
What,
You
Dragon
brought
dragon
it
wing.
back.
What
No,
was that side
Katie,
comment?
Even
The
though he
Elis
doesn't?
lives.
Yeah.
Put a dragon wing as the graphic.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I should.
Are you saying that you
You know
forgot
you're bored.
I forgot what.
Elis is on your board? Probably.
No. I was gonna say, the board with the
Yeah,
dragon.
that's what I was thinking. We get the
Yeah,
dragon.
I
that's-
was gonna do
yeah.
that with Elis lives in the middle is what I was thinking about doing.
That's what I was thinking.
Cute. Oh, you guys. are so good.
You guys,
Oh,
let's face it. I'm gonna give it to Jenny, and Jenny's gonna do something awesome. That's what we're gonna do.
Are you
Carol,
saying,
yeah.
are you saying that when in Freedom, when Jesse is looking for Elis, but then you brought him back for the big fight at the end of the network series, so he couldn't have died in the first one.
Which
Right.
is
No, so that's what I'm
why.
saying.
He didn't really
That's what
die.
I'm
He
saying.
didn't die in the war
Which is
either.
why he's not dead
But he
now.
did.
Because
really didn't
He's
die
not dead
either.
now.
president.
I'm with you, girlfriend.
He
Nah,
just got
in a
wounded.
court of law, there's presidents
In a
now.
court of law, there's president.
We
Oh my
can,
God.
we can
Wounded.
prove. We can prove it.
In a court of law, there's precedent that Elis lives. Boom. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, Carol. I can't find in Freedom that I ever said whether he lived or died. Like it's
Okay.
at the end, like at the
Gotcha.
very end of
It
Freedom,
was
Jesse's
just a
like
cliffhanger.
searching for Elis frantically, and I can't see
Yeah.
that he died anywhere. And I might have missed it, but the last reference with Elis's name in Freedom, and even with Jesse, is at the battle. And so I was like, oh my gosh, what if I brought Elis back into the network saga and he was actually dead? Like, how do you even cover that, right?
He's not really
Well,
dead.
That's like Victor Kiriakis in Days of Our Lives.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, nobody dies in Days of Our Lives. They just brought a character back that died like 10 years ago. And I was like, okay, maybe he's cryogenically sealed or in a coma, just like in our lives. So
That would go for Elis. You guys would totally buy cryogenically
Well, there's
sealed,
magic.
right?
Oh,
You can do
absolutely.
Some kind of magic.
We would totally buy that.
the magic.
Denise,
What the
Denise,
hell is
nah,
part
keeping it
dance?
real. Sorry, Denise just left a comment that said, nah, keeping it real.
Debbie!
Anything
No,
can
Claire
happen.
Jennings. Elis is dead. I don't know, Debbie, I'm on your team. But frankly, remember, who knows?
Okay,
Elis might pop back to
He
life
just
in the
fell
Sisterhood
out of the
saga.
sky. He just fell.
What's
and
your next question? What else? What was your next question?
Lila's like, we gotta get off of this. We're
Let's keep
dying
moving.
here.
You want to know
okay, so-
something? You want everybody, all of you guys think Max is an asshole. I don't.
I
don't
love
No.
Max.
Max.
No, I
I don't
love
think he's
I
an
like him.
I
asshole.
don't think
Well,
he's a
that's
fool.
Especially
He's an
I
after
wouldn't
this
call him a
book.
jerk. He was
No.
just,
I
Oh my
wouldn't
gosh.
even call him. I wouldn't even call him a jerk.
no, he wouldn't
because-
call him a jerk. He was,
I
he was
would.
just,
You have
he was
Katie
grumpy. I
does
would
that
say
to
grumpy
Grace.
at first, but you know, you learn what he is about. I don't know. You end up liking him by the end.
Carol
But-
has a stirrer in a pot right now.
No, not at all.
Very
No,
real
he's
discussion
great.
going.
I never thought he was a jerk.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Really, Carol, you really never thought he was a jerk?
Well,
No.
Oh,
no, look,
no.
No.
I always
He's
thought
a
he was kind of a
jerk.
jerk until this book.
no.
Oh, I
no,
never
he-
thought he was a jerk.
Look, he's a jerk, but Max and Isadora are my absolute favorite couple in any book. I don't care. And I'm Team Baxter. So
Oh,
Max and
That's a
Isadora
big
are
deal.
it. But yeah, I love Max. Absolutely.
I
Andy.
love Max. I love Max too.
I think.
But I mean-
Oh, Andy just joined us. Hi, Andy. Well, I think.
Andy.
No,
So,
I never,
Andy-
I never
Guys,
did.
sorry I'm
Hi.
late. I am
I
just
never thought he
getting
was a
home.
jerk. I never did.
Okay,
I
so
never thought he
Carol
was a
just
That's because you're
stirred.
twisted.
Carol
wouldn't
just
say he
stirred a
was a
very
jerk.
thick pot, and she said that she thinks Max was never a jerk. She never thought he was a jerk. I do think that he revealed enough of his protective side for Isadora and the Dragon Master trilogy to redeem himself. Like, you knew that he was kind of an upfront jerk, but he had a soft spot for Izza, so you could kind of let it go in Flight. In Flame, I don't know. I think he was a jerk. Like, he left her in the prison for 2 days and a day longer than everyone else after Cecilia came that one time. You remember that? And he was
Yes, because she
short.
earned it. She earned it for disobeying.
Yes, she did.
She was a little
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
But
I never
everyone
thought he
else
was a
got
jerk.
out.
I never thought of him as a jerk.
No, but I must admit,
was
she
just-
has done it to me. Yeah, but since
I think you guys just have a
Yeah,
crush
you
on
would've-
him.
that's okay.
I think you have a
He was
crush on him.
such an ass.
Well, he is rather dapper.
He
He is
is.
very. He's Henry Cavill. He's Henry Cavill.
Yeah, oh,
That's
wow.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm on.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yes,
Go-
yes.
Go
Right,
reread
so
it
I am
now.
switching.
Oh my
am
God.
switching
Henry
now.
Cavill? Oh my God.
Okay.
Always,
I'm gonna.
literally
Okay, I'm
from
the
the
only one
moment.
here that doesn't know who that guy is.
Oh, I'll find it. I'll
Apparently.
find him.
Oh,
He's
you
the
know,
he's
oh
the
my
Witcher.
God.
The Witcher.
Oh my God.
The Witcher.
Here, I'll share
Superman?
my
I
screen.
mean, full muscle. Oh my god.
Oh, she's gonna
Terrible
show.
with names.
Oh,
Oh, it is
Oh.
There
Superman.
it is.
Yes,
Ah.
yes,
Did,
I
did
can
you guys
see Max.
hear
I can
what
see
happened to
Max
his
that way.
nephew?
And the
No, what
Enola
happened to his
Holmes
nephew?
movie, the series, those are pretty good.
It's lovely.
Did you guys hear what happened to his nephew?
No, what happened?
No.
That he went to school and it was like a show and tell or something, and the kid was like, "Yeah, my uncle's Superman," and
Yeah, I
everyone
heard
was
that.
like, "Yeah, whatever," and he was like, "No, really, my uncle is Superman," and the guy went to the school and told the teacher.
Oh, that's
And
sweet.
his uncle, and that's why
Aw.
he's saying that his uncle is
Aw.
Superman because
That
I play
kind of
Superman.
like that sort of clean shaven,
I had heard that
hair slicked
story.
back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I
like
would have
that's how I pictured
loved
Max.
to be that teacher.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would
Look
have been
who's back with
mortified.
me. Look who's back with me.
Hi, honey.
Aw.
Oh, hi.
She finally wants her mom again.
Say hi.
So all of you have to go reread it now and picture
Oh
Henry
my
Cavill.
God.
I always
Oh,
have.
gosh.
Oh, I thought he was good looking before, but
Perfect
boy, now that he's.
timing.
There's
I know.
back.
I would never call him a jerk. He was reserved. He was kind of grumpy.
You guys are crazy. We are not reading the same book.
We are not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, he was a jerk.
I
but,
never,
Terry,
you know.
happened to
never
Terry.
thought of him.
Terry
I
never
never
thought
say
of
he's a
him
jerk.
as-
Carol, you're twisting.
Okay.
I never thought of him. I never thought of him as Harry Henry, whatever.
No, I didn't either.
I always thought of him as Sean Connery.
Oh, no. No.
No.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for me. Oh yeah.
If it works for you.
Okay,
Okay, wait.
it does.
In
It
the
does.
calm, we're gonna go to Dana and then we're gonna go to Terry. Dana.
Well, so yes, he's a jerk, but I could see the, like, there's a little crack in the armor. Like, you could tell that his jerkness is armor.
Mhm,
Like, why
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
he want people to call him Max?
mhm.
Why, like from the early days, you know,
Mm,
why Maximilian? Why don't touch him?
Mhm.
And
But,
Explain
you know,
both.
the Max
And then
part,
the
that's the
advocate-
name though.
but the advocate sort of answered that question because he was abused. Of course, you know, he doesn't want
Yes.
people to touch him
Yeah.
because every time he got touched, it hurt.
Right.
And
Yeah.
every time he loved, they died or left.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had a student that was the name, you had to say the full name. And he was like, why? Why can't we use like a shirt? That's the name
their
I was
name.
given. And I like my name. So
That's
please
their
use my
name.
full name. So I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
I have no
it's
issue.
explainable
Yeah.
and not in a jerkish way. He liked
Yeah.
his name. That was it.
That was
Yeah,
not
he
why
did,
for
but-
Max.
but-
Max is just trying to control people.
But he didn't like
Yeah,
being
Max
called
was like,
Max.
I'm Maximilian.
Because Max is a jerk and he's trying to control people.
No,
Terry, it's your
sorry.
turn.
The reason he didn't want to be called Max was because that's what his mother called him.
Oh, really? I don't remember
Yes,
that.
Mhm.
it's in the book.
Yeah, it's in the book.
Nobody called him Max except his mother.
But his
and then his
mom.
mother was gone.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
sad now. I wouldn't call him
And-
Maximilian.
And then
Aw.
Isadora broke into his life and destroyed all his walls.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I love
Okay.
that she just went
Terry,
blew it up.
Terry, better just
Okay.
go for it, man.
Mhm.
Now that I've passed everything I was thinking about, first off, I agree with Dana and with Carol. I don't think Max was a jerk. I think he came into it strictly by the fact that that's the only way he could survive. If he didn't have,
That's true to a point.
Look,
That's
I love
true to a
Debbie.
point.
She's just like,
It's
no,
true to a
you're
point.
wrong.
Because Ranulph takes him in, like at what, like 11 or 12? And so then he
Yeah.
has
Well,
like a phenomenal setup. So I see where you're going with this, Terry. And his foundational setting, he survived, right? By building
Exactly.
guards and boundaries and stuff. I still think that's only true to a point. And I just think Max is irascible.
That's a good word.
I like that.
That's a
I'll-
good
I'll go
word.
with-
Denise,
I'll go with
I
the
like
fact
that.
I'll definitely go with the fact that he has an attitude, but he got it
Thank you.
simply because that was his survival instinct.
Yeah, that was survival. So that, yeah.
Also,
Well, he
can you
realized
imagine
it
two
worked for him,
Charlies?
too.
Can you imagine
Oh
two
my God.
Charlies? Like,
Two
no.
Char- no,
Oh my
not
God,
two-
no.
Wouldn't take two Charlies. No.
Yeah.
Charlie had too much energy.
I love Charlie.
Terry,
I
Isn't
know, I
Terry,
like
did you
him, but
finish?
he's
That Charlie and Max only see for more or less themselves.
Yeah, so they're matches. So Charlie only sees for
Oh, I
his
know, but
past.
I mean, that's all they see for, yet at the same point in time, they're able to use just that sheer little tiny sliver of vision in both directions to be able to do what they do,
Mhm.
both with advocacy and
It's okay, I couldn't say Antarctica earlier.
Yep. That one.
and the fact that's the reason why Max sees Izza, because if he didn't see Izza all the time, he keeps trying to. That's what's blowing his mind is how come is he keeps seeing this
Yeah.
girl when
I like
only-
that.
doesn't have a path.
Yeah, nothing about Isadora in his life ever made sense, right? Like,
Right.
I love that.
Karen, it's your turn.
I related to Max because of my childhood, building the walls.
Oh,
And
Okay.
from the way I was raised and building up the walls and just learning to trust anybody. And even my relationship with my husband was a long time, and I still, depending on the circumstances, I still have them walls with the trust
Mhm.
issue. So
Sure. Ooh, that's
Agreed.
a good viewpoint.
Agreed,
Yeah,
Karen.
thanks,
Agreed.
Karen. Was there another hand, or was this just outraged flapping?
That was Debbie outraged flapping.
Okay,
Not
sounds
this
good.
time.
okay, Debbie. Why do you think he's a jerk?
Are you
Oh,
kidding
like,
me?
Let us count the ways. Like,
Where do I
we don't
even
have enough
start?
time.
We don't have enough time.
how about we go on?
We don't.
Next
we-
question. Next
How
question.
about we go on? Let's
Hit me, hit me.
okay. Let me find a question. Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you guys, did you draw any big message from the story? This is a tough one.
Define big message.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Theme
or period.
lots of messages from you.
Ooh, give me your
Mhm.
messages. What messages did you draw? Even if they're not big.
Don't judge a
what,
book by
me?
its cover.
Since none of you were excited about this book.
Yeah.
I'm excited about all your books, Katie.
Oh, but that
Oh,
cover
thanks,
was
Dana.
beautiful. I love the cover.
Wasn't
I
it
love the cover
pretty?
before I I had to have it
That's
just
not what I
because of the
meant by
cover.
that. That's not what I meant by that.
You meant Charlie.
Saying,
that.
it's a beautiful cover.
I was looking at Charlie. I was
Yeah.
looking at Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was even looking at Isadora.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Don't judge
really-
a book by its cover.
Charlie and Max are foils for each other that way, right?
Mhm.
So people
Yeah.
were judging Max because he was recalcitrant and pulled in. And then they judged Charles or Charlie. Charlie's all out. Like,
Right.
there's nothing you don't see with him. They're total opposites, but actually having like the same issues, right? So
Mhm.
it's interesting that way. I think that's why they're such fascinating friends, is because they're so different, but they're experiencing similar things like throughout the whole book.
And
Yeah.
Charlie can see right through Max.
Yeah,
Oh,
like from the moment
And
they
vice
met.
versa, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was something
Charlie
important.
gives him a chance to be a jerk. He's just like, you're my best friend, and that's that.
I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
kind of pulled him right in, and then he just didn't like. He didn't like feed Max Max's guff either. He's like, no,
No.
like,
No.
like he's just not gonna let Max do it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead,
No.
Andy.
I think it would, for me, what was very clear, or like, is that we all experience the same thing in a different way. And even though we express ourselves differently, it's not wrong. Because sometimes, for example, in families, when there's a loss, you're like, yeah, but you're not crying. And it's like, but I don't feel like crying. I mean, why am I going to cry if I don't feel like crying?
Right.
Mhm.
And then another sibling is just pouring everything out. It's like, dude, you are like the Niagara Falls here. And it's okay to be different and to express yourself as long as you express yourself. Because when you hold it in and you keep it in, it's just like a dam. Eventually it's
Mhm.
going to just burst out
Burst.
and you're going to, hurt innocent bystanders.
Yeah, especially like
think
in
that's-
Max's case.
I think that's what happened with Isadora. She finally figured out Max had been showing her how much he loved her the whole time. The
Yeah.
words
That's,
didn't have
that's
to be
not
there.
the
Yeah.
advocate. That's not the advocate.
That's not Carol.
I mean, I was
Wrong
seeing
book.
some. I saw.
I know it's
started to read
hard.
some.
It's so
I
hard.
know.
Yeah.
The books are like this. The books are like this.
Yeah.
Well, you look at Charlie too for deeper messages and themes, and his relationship with
Mhm.
Faye. We were talking about this earlier, where in the 12 o'clock
Mimi,
copy
vamos
of
a
Katie
echar
Call,
agüita.
the Charlie and like Faye, where Charlie got so focused and so in and so centered on advocacy, what he's doing, that he forgot Faye and her importance, right? And like how he needed to kind of pull it back in and Faye speak up for herself, but it was really good for both of them in like some ways. I think that was that like humanity as a theme throughout the book too, right? They're really like imperfect witches trying to do this good thing. They're like holding on to a goal.
But he
Um,
always knew that Faye was his soulmate, like
Mhm.
even from
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
young boy.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Max is my
When
best
you know, you
friend,
know.
and Faye is my soulmate.
Well, he
Mhm.
chose it. He's just like,
And he
this is
never
what's happening.
wavered from either of that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
never did.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
As goofy as he is, he never wavered from there.
He's kind of a
I don't think
goofball,
he's-
isn't he?
I don't know if he's goof. I love him.
Totally
I love
goofy.
but I love that. It's not like
Yeah.
a goofy as in a guggy goofy in a just joy. Like remember the joy.
Lila,
Mhm.
he's your match.
I was just gonna
No.
say, because Charles is your spirit animal.
I don't know. I think Lila has a lot more depth than
No.
Charles.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
My match is like the opposite of me.
As they should be, right? Like we often see that.
Is
But-
it like I don't know, like that's the thing. That's what I love about the way Max and Charles are together, because if they were too similar, it'd just be too much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's more Charlie.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't have too much.
Either
Charlie.
way. Yeah.
That's why they
Mhm.
support each other. They
Yeah.
they sort of support each other and inspire each other and all that sort of stuff. So I love it.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Earlier we had a theory go out that I want to see here. So the gargoyles at Wild Rose.
Oh.
I was waiting for the gargoyle.
Yeah. Someone brought them up.
I like
at Newton's.
gargoyles.
We'll bring them here. Do you guys think that the gargoyles at Wild Rose represent anything?
I think
Maybe their feelings, you know, like outbursts of feelings. I don't
Mm.
know.
I think that Wild Rose is a special place, and it harbors people in need, and I think the gargoyles guard it.
Mhm.
That's what I thought of when I was reading it.
Because
they
as
do.
Lila said, it's a living place. It's like
Right.
always there's always something new, something different. And I think you're right, Dana. I think it's those gargoyles are there as part of the magic to keep it protected.
Do you
Because
think
look
it
at how
means
long-
anything when they have fire?
Mm.
Yes, but I don't know what yet.
I know. I've got to go. It makes me want to go back and reread it and pay attention to what's going on in the story or around the main characters
Mm-hmm.
to see, okay, what are the gargoyles about? Because they're traditionally they're protectors and
Mhm.
they keep away the evil spirits from from wherever, like you'll see them on churches and castles and such. So they're generally, and if you read stories about gargoyles, they tend to be the protectors.
Yeah.
So there's something that maybe as I went through and read it was there, but I didn't hone in on it. I was
Yeah.
just assuming, just based on my knowledge of gargoyle lore, that's what they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's-
think they're just sculptures or stones.
So have the
That's all I'm
gargoyles
saying.
talked to you yet?
That's all I'm saying.
What did you say, Kara?
Have the gargoyles talked to you
Are
yet?
they talking to you yet? Look,
yeah.
yep.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely have a place. That was
Good.
there's
Good
there
Good to have a
there's-
dialogue with them.
They have things to do for sure.
Oh.
But
Good.
just it does mean something when their fire is going.
Oh.
So I was telling you guys at the noon call,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure at the end of book 3 I land a pretty heavy clue for that, and you can kind of figure it out
Oh,
from
we have
there.
to
I'll
wait till book
confirm it.
3.
I'll confirm it in book 4.
Oh, jeez.
There we go.
You guys,
That's
it's 2
like
months
so
away.
far away.
It's 2 months away.
Too long.
Too long.
Only 2 months. Isn't that fantastic? Only 2 months.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy to me. We're moving through these novels so quickly that I'm like,
I just love it.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look-
have to wait a year.
I'm gonna
just
look back on
love
this
it.
year.
We don't have
Wait a year more.
thank you for not making us wait a year.
Oh,
Right.
can you imagine? Can you imagine waiting
No.
a year for the
No.
next Sister
No.
Witch novel?
And then we have to read the
No.
first one because you have to read the
No.
Just think about the
Oh.
Harry Potter series. We would have to wait an entire year for the next Harry Potter.
Right.
Or like
Yeah,
I read them all,
Outlander.
but I don't remember.
Outlander
And then
with
after a
Diana
year, you're
Gabaldon, it's
already
like 5.
lost.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to go
You-
back and
I've
read the first
actually
one and then
Stop
before you read the next
reading some people sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
this is
I've
it.
just gone, I just don't want to wait anymore.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
Garrett's picture.
Not
I
that
know.
I,
I was
would
just
do that.
I was
to you.
noticing that. I noticed that a couple minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I noticed it was the Team Merrick stuff. Yes.
Good job,
Okay, so
Garrett.
we only have 9 minutes left, if you can believe that.
Nuh-uh.
I have one.
We might
9
need to
minutes?
start booking more time. Andy and then Terry.
Have you discussed where the magic from Wild Rose came? Because I came late. I don't know if that was
Don't
already
think so.
discussed.
No, but that brings up another thing that happened. This actually occurred to me before I realized that there was a historical collection book for the Great Library of Burke. There is also going to be a historical book for Wild Rose.
Yay!
Oh, very good.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Because
because it's
apparently I can't help
interesting.
myself.
I love her. I think she's beautiful.
You got everything else
So
to
is
do.
that October or November?
Oh gosh, no. Don't you put that evil on me.
Maybe from
No.
next
Well,
year.
Sister Witches will be over by that time. I thought maybe you're gonna go back to Wild Rose. I didn't know.
Well, no,
Maybe
that's the
I
book
might.
we gotta wait a year for.
How
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
have to sleep? You don't need sleep, do you?
It's true. I don't. No. I get 8 hours of sleep a night. I just want everyone to know that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I hate to say for sure because every time I make a plan, I'll Cara laugh. But I was planning on seriously, you guys. I was planning on 9 books, but there might end up being 10. And
It's a
then
nice round number.
I was gonna go right into the Sisterhood saga, but I might end up going into this 2 more like historical collection books, and it would be Wild Rose and the Great Library of
Yeah.
Berk because that's what
Oh,
people
yeah.
are gonna be most excited about. But that
Oh,
means
yeah,
I have to put all the other historical collection books off again.
Okay, when is
Like, I
is it
We'll
Thelon
get-
Borg? When's that Thelon Borg? Is that what it is?
That's the Witch Without Magic.
Baleen.
Phaelin.
Oh, and what's that part of?
That's the problem, right? I can't like I have all these other ones I've told you guys about. There's the Weavers of Magic that describes it goes into Tuffer who made the Volare that Bianca
Oh
has.
man.
Yeah, so I have so there's only 5 Volares in Alcara. And they're all woven by Tuffer, who wakes up one day from his tent in the west, and there's a grimoire sitting on the ground in front of him, and he picks it up, and it describes how to make these carpets, and it's set against this like really cool geopolitical war. I'm really excited about it. I've had that in my brain for like 6 years, and I've been really excited to do Tuffer, but then like all these other ones keep coming up, and now The Witch Without Magic is about Phaelin Borg, and is Ramona, and now I can't do him either because now I have to do Wild Rose and Great Library of Berk, and I have to do the Sisterhood saga at some point.
Oh my god.
We'll wait,
good.
Katie. We'll wait.
The
You
good
can't
news
sleep.
is,
We're patient.
here's the good news. In the Network saga, you guys had to wait like 3 or 4 months in between novels, but now I can do novels every month. So
Mhm.
Terry,
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
things will
all
move a
right.
little bit faster. So I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I do
Okay.
think
How I
think
don't understand how you
2024.
can write a novel a month.
Very carefully. So I have. No, I'm not kidding. Like, so today I wrote 14,000 words.
Oh wow.
I finished Sana's story for the 4th book, and tomorrow I'll write 12,000. So I have it all broken out by date. So like from a specific day to a specific day, every single month I'm first drafting, and then I get a little break, and then a specific day to another specific date, like the 7th to the 15th, I'm first drafting, like whatever.
know.
And then everything is like on a cycle. So I know at any given moment what I'll be doing that month for writing so that I can say, no, I can't do this event because I'll be first drafting and I need all that time. Or yes, I could do it because I'm editing and that's faster. So it's a process that is like super finely tuned, right?
Wow.
And
And
I just
Alcara does not leave her alone.
does not.
No.
No.
So I work about 6 to 8 hours a day, and about 6 of those are just writing, like
Wow.
literally at my computer, just laying the words out. So, and then
gotta
I
say
have.
goodbye. Hello.
Oh, okay, bye, Terry.
Did you guys take a peek at?
Yeah, it looks
Yes, we were
fantastic.
Oh
looking.
wow.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it
looking
looks
good.
Oh,
awesome.
that's the green
Oh,
for the
wow.
trees.
That looks really cool,
Yeah.
Terry.
That
That
Looks awesome.
Looks
Approved.
nice.
Approved. Yes, definitely approved.
Like we matter. Go
It-
for it,
There's a
Terry.
corner.
Oh wow, look at that.
there's only like
course we
8,000 of
matter.
them.
Oh, they're so
That's
beautiful.
nice. Those are
I
really
love
pretty,
the
Terry.
mountains because they actually look like they're raised.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Oh wow.
So good.
Nice
So
work.
good, Terry.
Well
I
done, sir.
have to run. We're
Okay,
Way
it
to
was
go,
good to see you,
T.
Terry. We'll see you later.
Hi,
Good night.
Terry.
Bye.
Bye.
So anyway, all of that to say that 2024 will probably be a mixture of the historical collection catch up and the Sisterhood saga. So, whew. It's good stuff. So anyway, so that's what we got going on for books. And I think that pretty much closes us out. Was there another question or anything anyone wanted to say? We've got 4 minutes.
I was just, because I was trying to figure out how did he become a high priest? So when you found out how he became, because he was such a kind of buffoon, kind of, who would ever think he would become a high priest?
But it made sense,
On
right?
him.
Because
Yeah.
Greta wanted a puppet and it
Mhm.
just happened and he was actually quite upset. Like,
I know, he was like, what?
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
what?
I love that about Charlie.
I've got to go back and check out Felicity because I don't remember her coming in.
It's in Sister Wishes.
Oh, that's why. Well, and I listened to it, so it may have been when
It's
Rich and
hard
I
when
were
you
talking.
listen, you don't hold the names
I
as much.
don't.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I'd rather read.
And
I
Carol was
agree.
on a
Read
lot of
it.
road.
Yeah, Carol, you had a lot going on.
Mhm.
You were
1,800 mile drive. Oof.
That he was able to keep both personas for so long.
Mhm,
And he mentions
Yeah.
that he was starting to get, kind of like wobbly on it,
mhm.
but he was so wow. I mean, I don't think I've done it. He has
Yeah.
to be a brilliant man.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think that's why he's crazy because he's just too brilliant.
He has a lot of energy too. I gave Charlie my energy. I'm a lot like Charlie in that way. Like there's just a lot of energy. Oh, sorry. Did you have a question, Karen?
No, I was gonna say what I got out of the book was nothing comes easy, whether it's life, love, friendship.
Oh, that's a
You-
great
good one,
message.
Karen. You need
I love that
conflict to
message.
grow, no matter what it is. If you don't have conflict, there's no growth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hence the deceptive high priests and high priestesses.
Yeah.
That's a great message, Karen, and
They
that makes
keep
me
getting
happy.
married behind the scenes.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, one of them.
Yeah, all of them. 1,000 years of them.
Oh, Garrett's not even listening for me.
Oh, I'm
yes.
Oh, he's there.
I'm
He's
listening.
lurking.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is I've distracted everybody once. I'm trying to behave.
Oh, Garrett, I would never kick you out. It's way too fun. If anyone, Carol would need to get kicked out for the Max comment.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
And in
Conflict
the
is
background,
good.
my background,
the background.
it's,
There's a
I stirred
Coca-Cola.
the pot a little bit like that without saying a word.
I know you put Coke and Team Mary. Oh man, he's bringing old flames like Baxter into this even.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Leanne, the only Team Baxter representative that we have.
That's okay. Look,
Jean
look,
Marie was here
Derek's
this morning.
just being an SOG tonight. That's all.
Wait,
Oh,
look at
son of a
Anthony.
god. Oh my god. That made my day. That made my day, Leanne. You SOG.
There's 6 of them left. though.
Oh, all of you are the delight of my entire career. Meeting on book clubs like this, discussing it, having people to nerd out over Alcara, it just like, man, I had an 8-hour workday and 7 of those 8 hours were sauna. And Bailey, because I'm still anyway, Bailey.
Oh, Bailey.
But those like long days like that are always so fun because this is what comes from them. So it just makes my heart so happy that all of you love the book so much because it just validates everything that we're doing in Alcara. Because Alcara is just the most amazing place in the world and we all need it, including myself. So thank you for coming. Thanks for reading the books. I'm
So
excited for
Sister Witches 2, Sister Witches 1.
Oh,
When are we
wow.
doing book club for that? Because you're
2
not
weeks.
doing
2 weeks.
2
Yeah,
weeks?
not
2
this
weeks,
Friday, not
okay.
next Friday, but the Friday after, because I'll be at Fantasy.
Mhm.
So that gives you
Okay.
guys, Diane, that gives you 2 weeks if you want to do the book club.
I've
for Sister
started
Witches.
it, but yeah.
Okay, perfect.
No coffee with Katie and no book club next Friday.
Yes, but there
Right.
is
Okay.
live writing. Live writing with Katie is still happening
Monday.
the Monday, but
Monday.
not the following Monday because I'll be
Okay.
traveling back. It is better than Coke, Andy. And before that gets going, we'll end this. But thank you all. Thanks for coming.
Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Good night,
Love you
everyone.
guys.